And now we're gonna see the other game between the Brazilians and the Russians. Okay, so we are gonna see the second game of the other quarterfinals on the other bracket, and whoever wins this game between Levski's team, who's the Russians, against the Brazilians, Japanese team, are gonna advance to face Chicken Team. We're waiting for both teams to connect. They're making final preparations. Apparently, we're switching rooms. Okay, I'm back, and I think we switched rooms, and now we are seemingly ready. Both teams are joining. The streamer is joining too in a moment. So this is the other final. Let me check what I'm getting told. One moment. Okay, welcome back, and they're warming up now. We have Happiness TNT hashtag and Montolivo, who have no alternatives in the bench against Levski, CN, Kitsune, Pepsi out, who have Lipton and Consolio and Pano on the bench for alternatives. This would be the first game Pano shows up. So whoever wins this game is gonna advance to the other semifinals between whoever wins this game and Chicken Dynasty, whose captain is WW and is on the game streaming. Xiaonui had some sort of internet emergency. Both teams are making strategies. Hashtag and company are making fun of them in Portuguese. And they're making fun of the Russian language. And also the Russians are saying a lot of Russian strategies. A lot of KKK going on from the Brazilians. And the game is about to start. There's a lot of happiness just started. Levski stopped it. And we're waiting for the Russian team to be ready, but they are saying and the Brazilians seem determined to spam. They're laughing, and they're confident. A lot of Russian language and Brazilian language on the chat right now. They're getting the Russians nervous with the spam. You can tell this is part of their mental games. all disconnected. And we're waiting for Alt to come back. It's just rage quit or I don't know, disconnected. So we are waiting on one player from the Russian team. And there's a lot of chat going on. I'm completely lost. Is he asking something important to Trooper? And yeah, Pepsi asking to change the room. A lot of spam going on, and we're still waiting for Out. They ask for 1 minute. Trooper just asked them to stop spamming, and they started spamming right after. A lot of KKK, and I think they didn't get the message, but this is how a normal FSB game is looking like. Alt is coming back with his macro, of course. He's using some sort of program, of course. These pesky Russians. And now both teams seem to be ready. And the game has started. Alt is still not moving, but the countdown has started. Levski said ready, so Alt is not moving. Pepsi and Alt are not moving. The game is underway, and apparently Pepsi and Alt being little babies right now. The game is paused. There's a lot of chat going on. The Russians don't decide themselves. It's just Trooper's losing his temper. It's not gonna end well. And Pepsi is saying, Наюдно. Levski's replying, Запотрушно, потрака пусто есть топорка монета. Макажне борка и. So yeah, Russians are having some sort of internal fight or fighting with the admin, and no idea what that is about. And the Brazilians are just chilling and having fun. The game has started. Levski stops it, and this is not gonna end well. Trooper kicked Levski. "4B, please stop." A lot of fighting going on. Alt left the room. The game has started now, finally, and the Brazilians are on red. TNT, Hashtag, Japones, and Montolivo. Three of them play in the FSB together. That's Japones, TNT, and Hashtag. They play together in one of the teams that are leading in the FSB. And these guys who are in the voice channel probably are gonna get banned. Shouldn't do that. Alt rejoined. And a lot of fighting before the game. Brazilians are leading by 1. Pinks are looking good for both teams. Kitsune scores and ties the game. I think the issue is that the Russians want to switch host, but I think the room is fine. And the Brazilians, I'm not sure if they want to or if they don't care, but getting about the same ping in this room, whatever. TNT with a shot, waits for the bombs and Hashtag bombs the entire blue defense. Montolivo is just asked if the game is counting. Well, at least now the Russians, if they lose, they have the excuse about the rules, and they can blame the admin. And the Brazilians also would blame the ping. This is just a never-ending story between. Remember, one of the first games that Brazil's played, Japanese had a lot of ping, and they were completely dominated by super acquaintances. Japanese was just flying. That's his game style, though. I'm not sure if it was trolling or they were just completely dominated like that. Now it seems like the Russians are with the problem. Yeah. They put Consolio in and Levski, Lipton, and Kitsune, as apparently Alt and Pepsi are just having some issues with the admin, or that's what I could sense from the pre-game fight. So if you just join us, this is the quarterfinal between Flamengo and Gainigers of Outer Space. Whoever wins these games, it's best of three, so we're gonna see at least two games between them. Whoever wins is gonna face Chicken Dean in the other semifinal. We saw the previous game was dominated by All Stars against oh against Shaniqua, which was on at the beginning of the cup. They were one of the favorite teams to win the whole competition. Among the two Americans team were favorites, so that was a big upset by All Stars, led by Sahir, and now the Russians score with Lipton forcing an own goal and 3-2 for Brazilians. Maybe this fight was good for the Russian team, who are being really weak in their in the last few games. They're with Levski and all looking really weak and on a downward spiral, if you ask me. And Levski and Kitsune have remained constant in their skill. I haven't seen much of Lipton. Oh yeah, Lipton being a good bench player. Whenever he comes in, he makes a difference. So I think he's holding this substitute team together. Consolio, we haven't seen him much. We saw him. I remember one game from him, and he was subbed out after. So I haven't seen much of Consolio. This is the first time he starts from the beginning of the game, though. With 20 seconds to go of the first period, Montolivo waits an open net miss by Montolivo, but Japones taps it in after his mistake. Japones just called him demente, like I think that means he's got dementia. Kitsune told something in Russian to Levski. The first period is gonna end 4-2 for the Brazilians, and as you can see on the bottom left of your screen, Pepsi now saying something in Russian. I'm pretty sure he's asking to change the room in Russian. It's like, and Happiness is trolling with them. He just put Pepsi and Alt on his team for trolling. Consolio just accused the fucking Brazilians of macroing without a hint of irony. Because, Russians are known for the programs and all this hacking and stuff. And let's get started. The game's underway the second period. So it's +2 for Brazil right now. Levski keeping the same lineup. Alton, Levski, Alton, Pepsi bench. Maybe it's a punishment of their pre-game attitude, which is a really loser attitude. Also, Console is having a terrible loser attitude, accusing on the first period of Japanese with a great shot, just tricked Consolio. So as I was saying, Consolio accusing the Brazilians of macroing without any sort of evidence or anything, just being a sore loser, even if he hasn't lost the game. Maybe he's provoking them, and maybe it's a mental game, or maybe he's serious. Right now, Japones in front of the net. I watch these guys play a lot in the FSB. They play really good together, and they start trolling whenever they dominate the game and whenever they lose the game. So you cannot be certain when they're actually mad or happy. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but you're gonna see TNT and Happiness team bump each other a lot and fly a lot as the game progresses. Mark my words, this is gonna happen. If they start winning by a lot, it's gonna be even worse. And yeah, I'm not sure. It's hashtag in front of the net is missing an opportunity. There's some KKK by Japanese going on. Hashtag against three of them in the defense. The defense from the Russians looking very shaky right now. Kitsune holding together against three. But she's sadly on goals there. She could have saved that. Also, Lipton was just standing still watching that. Didn't help much. Kitsune with another unfortunate on goal for the Russian team. Oh well, it comes for Montolivo, luckily for her, but second period of the first game and sort of escaping now. Japón is dominating this period. Scores another one on Consolio. He just tricked him. Levski not reacting. Montolivo now hashtag clearing the way for his team. The bumper of this team is TNT. Well, TNT and Japan just attempted a rocket shot. This is what I'm talking about. You're gonna see that shit a lot in this game. And they team bomb each other. They try weird passes, and sometimes it's very interesting what they do. I'm gonna lie. I'm not sure if that works a lot against top teams in 4v4, but in 3-on-3 it works really well. Brazilians on offense now. Hashtag comes and triple bumps everybody. Lipton with a counterattack. Russians are playing too slow against these Brazilians. You gotta play fast against them to dominate them on their own game. If you play slow, you're just gonna get outbound. Levski tries a shot. It's blocked by Montolivo's gonna pass to Japones. Japones is gonna take the shot. It's deflected by Lipton. Double bump there by Montolivo. TNT with a trick shot pass. Consolio blocks it. Hashtag attempts a pass to Montolivo. They just team off each other. Japones is asking what's going on. Hashtag in front of Consolio. TNT eating the post. TNT clearing the way for hashtag. Hashtag passes to nobody. Gives the ball to Consolio, who's gonna try a shot, but misses the X and flies by. Japones now has probably... Japones is chatting in the middle of the game, giving instructions to his team. The game is being dominated so far by the Brazilians, so the Russians are struggling a lot on defense. Kitsune now has a shot, early shot. Levski blocks it. Now Levski misses an open net. Montolivo just managed to save that on the edge of the net. So Montolivo now in front of the net. It's blocked by Lipton. Japanese takes an angle shot. It's white. A lot of defensive problems by the Russians. They need to work on it. I'm not sure if Alt is benching Pepsi, and I'm not sure if Levski is benching Alt and Levski because of their attitude before the game, or because of how they've been performing in their last few games, which is, we saw them in the Nations Challenge, we saw them in the previous games, and they were not looking good. Now Levski is gonna keep the same lineup for this last period. And Japones is putting Alt in just to troll him. He's playing with his brain right now. Japones is clearly trolling Alt, and and uh, so something happening. Trooper just crashed, and I'm lagging. And I'm not sure if... Oh, the game is underway anyways. And the same lineups. Levski has bench alternatives, but doesn't change anything. And it has Pano, Pepsi, and Out on the bench. I'm being asked if I'm recording. No, I'm not recording. And I'm sorry. I hope somebody else is recording. Yeah, we're soon gonna start the third period of the first game between the Brazilians and the Russians, and it has started. They were waiting for the admin, and no substitutions available for the Brazilian team. The game is +7 right now. Brazilians are clearly dominating this team, and let's not forget that it's a best of 3 formats in the playoffs. And right after this game, there's gonna be another game, and if the Brazilians win that one as well, I'm calling it now. But this first game seems kind of over, if you ask me. It's +7, third period. The Russians need to pull a miracle. Nothing changed in the lineup, so I'm calling it. First game is gonna go for the Brazilians, and if the Brazilians win the second game, they're gonna advance to the other semifinal. But the Russians have a lot of alternatives on the bench, so maybe we see a surprise on the second game. Open that opportunity for, oh, great save there by Montolivo. Going strong and forces Consolio for an angle, and that's great play there by Montolivo. One of the top players in the FSB in these days, and great trick shot there by Kitsune, but he's saved on the line by Japones. The ref clearly favoring the Brazilian decisions, and Lipton almost on goals. Kitsune saves it, and now trying a counter-attack. Kitsune is gonna clear the way for Levski, and Levski's gonna score. TNT doesn't save that. This was a really hard save to make. I think the Russian team needs to clear their head for the second game and possibly not start with that attitude that they started, which maybe saw Levski bench out on Pepsi after they had some sort of argument in Russian, which I'm sorry I didn't understand, but I think it was something related to the host. And, they were playing in a different host in the previous game between All Stars and Shaniqua, and the Russians wanted that room. They probably wouldn't have noticed that anyways. And now Hashtag with a great trick shot on Kitsune and scores. Game is coming to an end right after we have the second game, and the Russians will be forced to win that one to survive in this cup, or they're gonna say bye-bye. Bleach, bleach. How you say bye-bye in Russian? Bleach, bleach, bleach. On paper, the Brazilians were favorites to win this game, according to the sheet I have. Also on the group stage, even though the Russians won on the group stage against this Brazilian team, with different lineup though. It was Pepsi, Levski, all the Russians on this team. Japones is clearly flying. Hashtag scores on Levski, just gets outscored there on force. By force, they're getting Surra. Three players against Japones, and the Japones and TNT just on goal by Montolivo, and great saves there by Japones and TNT though. Are increasing their speed by a lot. Pretty sure after this game you'll see the Brazilians don't know this is best of three and they will leave, and Japones is pausing. He's gonna tell his team not to draw or something. Yeah, he's asking them to come back to this rhythm before. So stop trolling, guys. He's telling. He's taking this game serious as he should. Even though he's the massive troll of this team, he's the one starting flying, and it's a little funny that he asked them to not to troll. And Levski scores another goal, and it's only +6 now, but it was at one point +10. So definitely the flying is not working now for the Brazilians. But they should still win this game. 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go, and the Brazilians are gonna take the first game of this quarterfinal against the Russian team. TNT forces his way into Kitsune and Lipton. A lot of force there on the X. And Kilevs is gonna score and tap in. The first game is gonna end with a win for the Brazilians. Now we have the second game, guys. Don't leave, because now the Russians have to make some decisions. It's best of three, so whoever wins. Well, if the Russians win the second game, we're gonna see a third game. And if Japanese team wins, they will advance to the other semifinal. The Russians are whining about their room. A lot of Russian chat going on. And the Russians are whining about the room, of course, saying the alt has a second high ping. And there's still some discussions about the room, and I'm not sure what to comment right now, so I'll just let you guys read the chat because I don't understand the Russian or yeah, I don't understand Russian. That's not what the issue is. Everyone seems to have the same ping. Not sure what's going on. Trooper got banned, and I'm still unaware what's going on. So I think the game's gonna be cancelled or something. The Russians don't want to play. They're whining about the ping of one of their members. So we're probably gonna switch the room or something. As being told, there's some discussions in Discord going on. it's probably gonna be postponed the second game because I'm not sure what's going on. The Russians refuse to play in this room, which is the same room everybody else played in because Out's having some lag. They have 3 other players to play. So it looks like we're moving to another room. Okay, and now the game has started. After a lot of wine from the Russians, who forced a room change because one of their players was lagging out apparently. So now apparently the Brazilians are forced to play with higher ping because one single player of the Russian team wanted to cry. But it's fine. The Brazilians said it's fine, so even though they clearly have a higher ping here. This is the second game. The first game was won by the Brazilians. Now their bench players are not in the room anymore. Montolivo now with a counterattack. The key star player from the Russians out is on the team now. So obviously hoping he's the star player because we did all this. We delayed the game almost 1 hour for him. So far he's not doing shit, so let's see how he changes the game. Consolio, Pano, and was the other guy left and are not in the room anymore. The Brazilians still with the same lineup. So the second game, the first period of the second game is up by 2 goals. The Brazilians leading. Out misses a shot. Montolivo now saves the second attempt. TNT is flying with happiness all over. Going really fast. Levski takes a shot. Kitsune blocks it. Hashtag with the counterattack. He's trying his trick shot on the wall. Happen is flying really fast. Montolivo takes a shot and hashtag deflects it. Levski with the ball control. He's gonna pass to Kitsune. Happen is flying a lot. Maybe his ping is affecting him. And hashtag in front of the net with Levski. Montolivo almost on goals. Now TNT's counterattacking. Hashtag asking for the ball. Montolivo passes the ball to him. Hapones keeps flying. I think it's the same situation as when he played the Super Acquaintances. He was lagging a lot, and I guess this time he's not crashing it, but it's clearly not the same as in the other room. TNT gets the ball and is gonna score easily. +3 now for the Brazilians. Hashtag starting to thank them in the chat, asking them to cry. Now Montolivo standing still and eats the goal from Pepsi. Team bump in the net from the Brazilians and outscores his first goal of the playoffs. Also hashtag telling something to Japonese. A lot of flying now. It's not working as before. TNT on defense against Levski is gonna score Pepsi another goal, and the game is tight. First period and Japonese is passing. And now the Brazilians are starting to say something about the ping, of course. I don't think it's fair what's happening because the other room is good for everybody, and this room is really bad for the Brazilians. And Apparently, it was only one player from the Russian team who had issues with the ping. But Brazil said they don't care and they're gonna play. TNT with a multi-bomb. Kitsune takes a counterattack. Hashtag attempting to score in the last 15 seconds of the first period. It's gonna be tight on the first period of the second game. This plus is 3-3. A lot of they're both trash talking. The second period of the second game has started. Brazilians now on red. Same lineups. Both teams have no substitutions available. All substitutions from the Russian team apparently disconnected. Kitsune takes a shot. It's very weak, and Montolivo saves it. Now TNT against Alt. Hashtag's gonna deflect that. Passes to TNT. Levski and Alt on the defense. Happiness with the clears, but Alt deflects it on the net. Team bombs between Kitsune and Pepsi. Now Hashtag's gonna score that. Now Happiness steals it. It's +1 for the Brazilians. Weak kickoff by Levski. Now it's counterattack by TNT and Hashtag. Happiness flies by. Montolivo against Pepsi on defense. Brazilians on a tight situation right now. Kitsune trying to macro his way into the net. TNT passes to Japonés with a great pass. Montolivo is now gonna trick a pass. Great bounce by Hashtag with an amazing goal from Hashtag with a triple bump and scores. Completely washed over over Levski's face. Kitsune with the ball. Hashtag's gonna steal it from her. TNT with a counterattack. He's gonna pass to Montolivo. He's gonna miss, and Alt and Pepsi deflected now. Montolivo clearly had that chance and missed. And a lot of KKK going on. Team bomb between Levski and Kitsune. Hapones is flying fast. Hapones is gonna pass to Hashtag. Tight situations now for the Russians, but they're using the counter-attack opportunities from the missing opportunities from the Brazilians. Now Hashtag with an open net and is gonna score. He's gonna try to embarrass them. He's after every goal he's saying Pepsi, Pepsi, KKK. And now the Brazilians. Oh, great save there by Montolivo. Japonés is now left on the net with, with the ball, but it's a tight angle. He can't make it. The Russians clearly losing their mind games against the Brazilians. Pepsi tried to trash talk them on the warm-up and didn't work now because he's got to play and win. Hashtag is one of the most annoying players on the chat in the FSB. He starts winning and starts annoying the opponent. It's part of his mind games, and Pepsi's falling for them. On the same current of thought, when Hashtag starts losing and people make fun of him, he gets really nervous. So Japones with a triple bump. Montolivo takes an angle shot but misses. The Brazilians are just flying all over, and they're +3 though on the second period. Levski now scores, and with 2 minutes to go of the second period, Hapones is gonna pounce. TNT is calling him a retarded, and a lot of KKK going on now between hashtag Hapones calling them. Hashtag is just trash talking Pepsi, asking him if he's okay. Multi-bomb by Happiness, we just came flying full speed, now misses the ball, and he has a good counter-attack opportunity, but he missed the goal, the ball. Happiness going really fast and destabilizing the entire Russian defense as Hashtag now attempts a trick shot. Happiness takes a shot, is deflected by Levski. Oh, great goal there by the Brazilians. They're just playing with trick shots and flybys. TNT just team-bombed Montolivo on the kickoff. Happiness with an angle shot is gonna miss it, and Pepsi now breaks the map. He's gonna take the ball out, and he's gonna miss an open net, Pepsi, and that's gonna give some ammunition to Hashtag. TNT now with a counter-attack. With 1 minute to go, the Brazilians are still looking stronger, even with the pink disadvantage. After all that wine from the Russians, they're still losing. So maybe the problem was not the ping. Now it's happening scores between Kitsune and Out. Out who had made a lot of drama in the game just because he was lagging. Everybody else in the entire cup played fine in this room and the other room, and Out opens his own goals now. Five seconds to go on the second period, and it's still +3. And they're making fun of Pepsi in the chat. I hope it doesn't backfires. And the third period of the second game is about to start. It's getting late, and the Russians are asking for a second. And the Russians are ready now. The Russians take the kickoff. It's counter-attack by Montolivo, clears the entire red team. Oh, TNT misses the bombs, and Kitsune now with the counter-attack. She's gonna score that, and she does. It's +2 only now. Brazilians need to take this seriously, or they're gonna lose that. Hashtag with a great shot from the midfield as TNT clears the way for him. It's +3, and they keep asking Pepsi after every goal. They're just playing with his mind, and I'll tell you, when you're playing and they are annoying you like that, you cannot avoid getting heated. You can pretend to ignore that, but once you start a trash talk war in the game like this, it's really hard to come from it. Hashtag with a great goal in between Out and Kitsune, who don't manage to save it, and they're saying Pepsi's AFK just to troll him. And Pepsi, you can see Pepsi just falling for it, and the trash talk. Hashtag is riding in the middle of the game while Montolivo saves it on the front of the net. Kitsune with an opportunity. Oh, Alt gets boosted into the Revlow's net and saves it for the other team. Kitsune with an opportunity now is trying to trick shot. Hashtag is counter-attacking now. Montolivo clearing the way. Hashtag misses. TNT is gonna clear the way now. Happiness flying all over. Happiness is a destabilizing player with their speed. TNT just came by full speed and team bombed his entire team. They need to take it serious. Another full speed team bomb by TNT, and this time it worked. It managed to save the ball. With an open opportunity, Hashtag saves it on the line. Montolivo with a counter attack. Now Happiness is gonna Hashtag is gonna take that full speed and misses and up net. No, Happiness now saves it, but Kitsune doesn't do anything and Hashtag scores, and now they're gonna keep trash talking Pepsi. That was really funny from Happiness. Just now Happiness and TNT are trolling, and with 2 minutes and a half to go, they're taking it lightly. And Levski against TNT on the net, out with a good clear there. Kitsune tries some trickshot and finally scores after some struggling there in front of the net. Still +4 for the Brazilians. Kickoff by Montolivo, full speed kickoff. Happiness takes a counter attack. Really strong X by these Brazilians. They're out Xing the Russians, were really strong with the X. TNT now with a great goal after an assist from Happiness. Hashtag keeps trash talking with Happiness to Pepsi, and it's really affecting their gaming. Pepsi now on goals. That's gonna. They're just having fun with Pepsi now. And something I learned is you don't start a flame war with the Brazilians. It's really annoying because they will just spam the fuck out of you. And that's what Pepsi did. And the other dude, Consolio, called them macros, and you don't want to do that in a playoff game because they will do the same to you. So I'm just trolling us in Discord now, and TNT with a counter attack. What happened is just team bombs him. It's now clearing the way. Hashtag stealing the ball. With 1 minute to go, they are just gonna troll the last minute. And TNT is gonna save it on the line. Triple save there by Montolivo. TNT with a counter attack. Oh, Happiness almost scores there. Well, as this game is closing to an end, TNT scores another one, and pretty solid win by the Brazilians. Now they're gonna start trash talking. The last minute is gonna be trash talking, and they're kind of right. They're playing with 200 ping because Alt whined, and they don't care. They just played, and Alt refused to play in the other room like a baby, even though he had 120 or something ping. And they're just playing. Two other players have 200 ping, and you can start to imagine their second ping as well. They're from Brazil. So not really fair to whine about the room. So they earn it on themselves now. Another goal from Montolivo. It's getting embarrassing now for the Russians, and Happiness is gonna pause. Well, he's trolling. He always does that shit in the last few seconds to humiliate the opponent, and he's saying Pepsi's AFK, and the Brazils are gonna advance to the other semifinal. They're gonna play against W's team who's on the stream. They're trash talking the Pepsi now. It's worth watching a little while. Pepsi offline. Pepsi has left. Pepsi AFK. And the Russians got dominated by the Brazilians. It was quite expected. And this Brazilian team is going to play chicken in the other semifinal. And this is it for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching, and good night.